The truth about how inconsistent action kills your momentum now. Today's conversation is sponsored by the Billy Keels Advisory Program. If you want to learn more about how to make your 9 to 5 optional, just go to billykeels.com/advising. Once again, that's billykeels.com/advising. The truth about how inconsistent action kills your momentum now is something that each and every one of us has been through. Like, it is just, especially when you're in corporate, it is just one of these things when you are a productivity machine or you look to optimize each and every single minute. When you skip a beat, this is what this episode is about today. It's a very brief episode, but want to make sure that you're crystal clear on the truth about how inconsistent action kills your momentum now. And it's one of these, once again, as I mentioned before, it takes me back immediately to my time in corporate. 26 years was fantastic, had a really great time, to the point that I really, really liked my corporate role. I think you know that already because you've been here, you've listened, you've watched. And if you haven't, I mean, we've done 4 years of this now, a little over 4 years. So there's so many episodes you can go to and listen. 460 actually. Oh, well over 460 at this point. But let me not get off track right early on. The thing is when you are getting started, whether you're in corporate or you're starting this side business and you are starting to build momentum, the thing that is going to get you off track easiest is when you miss a beat, when you miss one of whatever, right? I think about all of the desire that I had during corporate. I think even if you ask my colleagues today, my ex-colleagues, I was one of the people that got the most amount of stuff done in the least amount of time. Billy, you never sleep. How do you get all this stuff done? Although there were 2 or 3 people that I wish I could name them right now because they know that they're super, super productivity wizards. But I guess I was known as someone who could get a lot of things done, moving things forward. And I was always looking for the newest, latest thing, whether it was getting things done by David Allen, or I was looking at the latest and greatest technique, whether it was the eat the frog or the chain technique or time blocking or whatever the case may be. You know, you had the 80-20 principle. And I know I've talked about that before, the Eisenhower matrix, if it's urgent, important. I studied so many of these different models, and they've become a part of who I am today, to the point that sometimes I even get confused on what I'm supposed to be doing. No, that's just a joke. Or is it? Anyway, the goal is, as we talk about this, is whether it was, I really wanted to have this idea of, you could think about like Tim Ferriss. Most people know the 4-hour work week. I wanted to be known as that person as well. Like, I was able to condense so much stuff to get all of the right priority stuff done and do it in the least amount of time. In reality, I wanted to connect with new people and do that without being mentally exhausted. That's what we're all really wanting to do, which is why you're listening to this or watching this episode. One of the things when I think about also these desires that I had for myself, it was also like, how do so many people, because you start watching these videos, or whether you are watching LinkedIn, where, by the way, I'm over there a lot. So if we're not connected already on LinkedIn, go check me out over on LinkedIn and make sure we're connected. Let me know you listen to the podcast, because that would be really cool. It's about being able to connect with so many other people and being able to do that in a way that is done efficiently, right? And so as you do things efficiently, one of the biggest, I guess, people that comes to the top of my mind, if you are familiar with the book Atomic Habits by James Clear, he talks about that you don't rise to the level of your goals, because everybody gets hyped up and I want to do this and I want to do that. And you say you're going to be able to do so many things. You're going to overachieve on your quota. You're going to really hit all of these KPIs. But the thing is like, goals and motivation and all that hype, that's good for stuff. But then the second part of that is that you fall to the level of your systems, right? You don't rise to the level of your goals. You fall to the level of your systems. James Clear, Atomic Habits, awesome book. If you haven't read it, check it out. So the thing is whenever you set yourself up for those priority items, those priority tasks, that stuff, there is going to be, it's not if, it's when you have a break in the momentum. Because when you are enjoying something, it's just like I said, you're going to rise to the level of your goals, your priorities, the things that you really want to be able to do. You're going to do that because from your gut, it gives you energy to go out and do the things. And you will do that for a prolonged period of time until life happens. And guess what? At some point in time, life is truly going to happen. And when it does, this is about what systems do you have in place? Because if you've been out there and you are building your business, you're building your business, you're doing your day job. Well, the day that you either forget about the priority task in your business or the priority task in your day job, there's going to be a break in the momentum. But the thing is, this is about where your systems come into place. And it's okay to miss a day. Like, this is the thing. I used to put so much pressure on myself. Like, if I missed a post on LinkedIn, once again, if we're not connected on LinkedIn, go check me out. Let's get connected. But I would get frustrated. But the thing is like, as I started sitting down and I would figure out, okay, well, what is it that I want to do? Like, I would miss one cycle. Well, the thing is if you miss a cycle, whatever that cycle is, or that moment that you should be doing the priority task, it's okay because you're a human being to miss once. And I would even say if you miss twice, but really, 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 really give it a lot of thought if you're going to miss a third time, because it's really easy to get into that momentum of not doing something. And you definitely do not want to miss a priority task 3 cycles in a row. Right? So this is where the systems come into place. And there's going to constantly be a conflict because you are the person who is out here. You're performing well in your day job and you're making those massive 6 figures. And that's what you do. And that's why you are asked to be in the role that you're in, because you're a producer, you're a high achiever, and you have a desire and you're building momentum in bringing your own goals, priorities, dreams to life because they've been dormant for a really long time. And now you know that it's time to wake up. You've gotten those signs. I think it's episode 437, the 5 surefire signs that, there's something else that you want to be doing. And that's it's giving you the momentum. But there's going to be this inherent conflict between working your role and working your dream, your goals, your priorities. That's not related to the corporate job. If that's happening to you, it's okay. It's part of the process. I went through it. I made it through. If you're going through it now, you're okay. You're going to make it through. You're listening to the podcast. You're watching the podcast. We're connected already on LinkedIn, and we have an opportunity to talk about it. What do you need to do? What are the steps that you need to take? Because the truth about how inconsistent action kills your momentum now, it's okay. Build your plan. You're working on your plan. And I'm talking about your side business specifically. And as you're taking the different actions, whether it's you or you found someone else to help you in the construction of your dream, you've got to be consistent. You can take a day off, take 2 at the maximum, right? You don't want to get into that 3, because what you'll realize is that just like everybody else, and I'll just talk about me, like, I'm human. There have been times, I think about this, specifically this podcast, right? There have been moments, specifically 2023 was a very, very, let's say, critical year in my life. I know I've talked about that before. And if the episode comes up, I can't remember, you can go to listen to it. I think it's episode 435 with Jerome Myers. We talked about that. But the idea is, yes, the goals were there. Yes, the dream was there to consistently bring you a podcast every 2 times a week. And we've done that consistently since 2020, since June of 2020. You can look back as far as you want to go. But the reason we were able to do that, like being human, life happens, and still being able to be here to deliver on the promise twice a week, at least for the last 4+ years. Check it out, right? And I'm human. The thing is want to make sure that this priority item to continue to be out, to continue to share ideas, content with you is a priority. And that's what we've done it. And so, although there have been moments where, like I said, I've not personally been able to do it, we have the systems in place to be able to continue to deliver on this priority item. But more importantly, I guess the skill set, right, that you've learned, that I've learned, that I want to share with you, because being human, there's still this truth about how inconsistent action will kill your momentum now, is lastly, the idea of being able to, what I've learned through this whole process and what I want you to take away is, whether you get to your goal or not, whether you are consistently doing whatever that action is, put systems in place because I've learned to build systems. I've learned also to find the right who. And this is specifically to those of you who are wired like me, yours truly, the recovering perfectionist, that you want to try to do everything all the time. Trust me, get out of your own way. Find the person or the team or the agency that does the thing that you need done better than you. I know it's hard to believe, but yes, they will do it better than you, or they'll do it differently than you. But you've only got 24 hours in a day. So thing of taking away, understanding how to build systems, understanding how to find out who's there to help, and then also finding out what is the thing that is true for you. So I don't want inconsistently to kill your dreams now, in the future. So I want to share with you today that it is okay if something happens once, maybe even twice. You're human. Give yourself the flexibility. And at the same time, really make sure that you're focused on building the right systems. They don't have to be overly intricate. They can be something that are very simple so that you have the ability to go back and get back on the treadmill, on the bus, whatever it is, to get back into your consistent action. Because at the end of the day, that is what is going to make the difference. That is what's going to continue to build your momentum and get you moving towards your goal. So with that, I want to make sure that this episode is one that you can share with your family, share with your friends, talk about it, because we're all been there. We've all fallen off the truck for 1 to 2 days, but get back on it. Build your systems. Make sure that you're moving and gaining momentum so that you can get to your goal. And ultimately, I know that this to be able to build your side business so that you get the opportunity to, well, make your 9 to 9 optional. That's what it's about, right? So I'll be here while you are sharing this episode with family, with friends. You're talking about it. You're going from theory to action to make it practical, because that's why you're here. That's why you're investing your time, is not just to sit here and listen to me, but it's to take these ideas and put them into action for yourself. So while you're doing that, I'll be here preparing for the next conversation. So until then, go out and make it a great day. And thank you very, very much. Freedom! Today's conversation was sponsored by the Billy Keels Advisory Program. If you're looking to make your 9 to 5 optional and need some help, just go to billykeels.com/advising. Once again, that's billykeels.com/advising.